Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret Raccoon podcast, episode 63. I am Ace.
And I'm the Emoji Raccoon.
And oh boy, it's hot.
Yes, surprisingly.
I hate it. I really do.
Yeah, it's kind of simmering down for the most part. I mean, from about the weekend, starting from about the 25th till about the 28th, it's been really, really hot. And now it's just humid and ugly for the most part.
Yeah, not fond of it at all.
No, I mean, it's been nice. I've been out, as you guys will kind of find out why in a bit. But it's been somewhat nice, but it is a bit much for the most part because it's just like blinding heat.
And I've been out almost every day in my black hoodie, so of course I'm enjoying this.
Absorbing that light.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, I can understand that. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of the more positive things that actually happened over the course of the last two podcasts, unfortunately, because as I'm pretty sure it's kind of made worldwide news. Apparently there was, well, not apparently, there was a mass and terrible attack on Manchester during I think it was the
Ariana Grande concert.
Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, I believe, on the 26th of May.
Yeah.
Which was just absolutely insane to actually find out about, and it's just unreal for the most part. And I think for anyone actually listening to this who was affected or lived in Manchester, just want to say our thoughts and hearts are out to anyone who was affected by this absolutely disgusting display of lack of human compassion for the most part. But I mean, hopefully this podcast can be of some kind of relief, or just kind of know that we are aware, and we're kind of, for the most part, aware that these kinds of things are happening. I know we don't really talk about world events like this for the most part. We just want to make sure that we're not ignorant to these kinds of things, because it is incredibly sad, and we hope that things do improve very soon for the most part. So we just wanted to at least mention that first before we kind of hopefully bring everybody up for the rest of the podcast, because I mean, we are here to, at the end of the day, we do try and have fun, and hopefully everyone else is having fun, or at least getting something out of the podcast for the most part. But yeah, really unfortunate to hear about that. And just a ton of other really sad and kind of concerning things happened, because I mean, 2017 was somewhat turning out to be much better than 2016, which is just depressing for the most part. But I don't know, too many things have happened regarding America and other kind of issues around the world where it's just like, come on guys, it's not needed.
It's almost been like a few weeks or like just a month kind of hell.
Yeah.
It's not been that great.
No, I mean, you kind of get the feeling that everyone is kind of struggling in a bad way, and it's not the kind of feeling or not the position you kind of want to be in right now. But I mean, I don't know, hopefully, I mean, we say hopefully it's better and then things just get worse, but let's be positive, I guess. Yeah. I mean, sorry to start on a bit of a downer for the most part, but we just at least wanted to kind of mention the kinds of things that are happening for the most part. But I guess I'll shift over to what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Ace, I'll hand it over to you for a bit.
So I've recently started playing Persona 5. Oh. And the game's incredible.
Yes.
I'm 60 hours in.
Uh-oh.
I don't even know how long I have left until the end. I
couldn't tell you, but I know how long the game is, roughly.
Yeah, I've heard it's around 80 hours-ish.
It's longer.
Okay, fair enough. But definitely highly positive, but I'm going to say a few bad things first, because there are some downsides.
Atlas fans, cover your ears.
The first 6 hours is so slow and needless. Like, it tutorializes things and it takes too long to do it.
Well, they got so many mechanics.
It could have been cut down to literally an hour or two. And even then, more mechanics are introduced later in the game. So it felt really unnecessary for the first 6 hours.
Somewhat typical for RPGs as well, because they just go, hey, you can do this now.
Yeah. And then, like, you played the first Pokemon game, it's like, tutorial's over in 10 seconds, you're done. Go on, play.
I mean, and it's funny enough, because I'm playing Persona 1, and they're incredibly quick with the tutorials. There's some things I don't even tell you what to do, basically. So I think it's just a case of, I think Atlas was just really worried that, hey, we've got a lot of stuff in this game. We need to make sure that everyone can kind of understand this game, because a lot of new people are coming into Persona, because I think it's been about 6, maybe 7 years since Persona 4, and that came out on the PS2.
Yeah, exactly.
They missed a whole generation. So give them a tiny bit of leeway just for that.
I would if it wasn't 6 hours. That, and I will say there is so much overwriting. Like, it feels unnecessary.
Well, you're not going to enjoy the rest of the series then.
Well, as I said, I've still been enjoying it. I just think it's a bit overbaked in some aspects of the writing.
No, go on.
Some of the characters just keep repeating things that we already know, and I'm not sure if they think we're idiots or if the characters are idiots. And that's my problem at points. But I think the game is amazing. It's probably one of my favourite games I've played in the past few years. So, despite those bad problems, I love it a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't really affect the overall enjoyment of playing. It's just the kind of things.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely know when I play through it again, I'm going to end up skipping so much of that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Just press the fast forward button.
The game's designed for that, as you really can tell.
But amazing mechanicals, just mechanics in general for this game.
Amazing design.
Yeah.
Amazing gameplay.
And it does that. One thing that I love in games, and more of them need to do, give you a timer to do something from the start of the game. And then, you have this long to do the thing. Do it
you have in-game time and days in order to romance people, go out, do whatever a kid would do for the most part.
Balance it.
Yeah, like an actual life.
Yeah. I like games like Majora's Mask do that. Dead Rising, Persona 5. I love those bits.
Yeah, Persona 3 up till 5, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very happy with that. Love that game.
I'm glad you got a copy of it as well.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely one of the best games to come out this year.
It was so hard to find, not being 60 quid.
Yeah.
Almost everywhere it was 60. I got it for 40 and I was so happy.
Good.
So, and the other thing I managed to watch that I'm actually going to positively talk about, because I saw some films in cinema. Might talk about those another time.
We'll see.
Yeah. I saw a film called Cuffs. It's, I think, an 80s film starring Christian Slater. And it's so absurd, I kind of love it. Like, the tone's all over the place. He's a kind of lazy layabout who's doing nothing with his life. And he just suddenly joins, the police patrol force. And it's so tonally wrong, it's amazing. At one point, he's strapped to a chair, tape over his mouth, and they're subtitling everything he said, with a dog sitting next to him that won't understand a single thing he says. And an amazing comedy drama section / action scene in his flat room. Perfect. That scene is one of the best scenes I've seen in a while. That probably sounded like nonsense.
Yeah, well,
but the film kind of is, and I recommend people to see it because it's absurd in greatness.
So did you see this in cinema or DVD?
This is on Netflix.
Okay.
So if you have it, definitely check out Cuffs.
Yeah, before the month is up, because they might remove that, so definitely give it a shot.
And it's Cuffs with a K.
Okay.
Because that's his surname, despite him being a police officer. Yeah.
He was born for this role.
Exactly. But that's all the positive stuff I want to talk about that I've done. Everything else has been very grumpy for me. Yeah. That includes going out, not being liking the sun.
The sun existing, yes.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
What have you been up
to? Quite a bit for the most part. I mean, I kind of got a lot of things finished off. So the first major thing I definitely got done with was finally getting back into gaming and beating Condemned on the Xbox 360. A launch title for the Xbox 360 and a classic and a very, very good game for the most part.
Definitely.
It, despite its actual presentation, it is aged very, very well, which just goes to show that it's a game that's going to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Because it's a fantastic survival horror game that I'm really surprised people aren't ripping off more.
Same.
I don't understand.
The only thing I know that's ripped it off slightly was one of the Silent Hill games. The later ones.
Yeah, of course, one of the terrible ones.
Yeah. I think might be Homecoming, where it ripped off its whole menu system. And that's it. The whole aesthetic of it.
Maybe, yeah. But it's a really good game, even down to the atmosphere and just the actual story, because I think they were definitely... One of the things, I guess, that kind of surprised you is it does have a very interesting story, given the fact that, you're a serial killer hunting down... not serial killer, that's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
You're a detective hunting down serial killers and kind of beating up homeless people in order to kind of find the answer, and those people would like jump you and all that, and it's definitely very frightening. And I'd imagine it's a soundtrack you wouldn't really want to listen to. There are parts where you're just like, ooh, I think one of the more upsetting areas of the whole game is definitely the library.
Oh, okay.
Because they leave you alone for the most part, and especially towards the end when you're just presented with one location, which I won't spoil, and they give you a pretty awesome concept which looks like it's coming out of like Zodiac or some kind of other kind of serial killer film, where it's just like, oh boy, and another kind of instance where they don't mess with you. They kind of just go, you're in this creepy setting and there might be people there, but we're not gonna tell you at all. But it's a really good game. If you haven't played it for whatever reason and you do own an Xbox 360 or a PC, definitely play it. Fantastic game. I'm so happy I finally got it. The other thing I watched, the only film I'm going to mention, which is probably going to be the only film I watched for a while, was Alien Covenant, which I saw with the friend of the channel, Recess, because we both like Alien. He's the bigger Alien fan, and we just wanted to see if it was actually going to be good for the most part. And I think we came out, I went into it with like no expectations, and I went out with it actually liking it for the most part.
Okay.
I would say it's definitely better than Prometheus, but I wouldn't say it's a good Alien film.
All right.
For the most part, but I think go watch it if it looks interesting to you, but it does have its problems, which we may discuss later.
Yeah.
But and the other thing I finished watching, a slightly newer show, and I don't usually talk about the newer shows I watch because they might end up becoming a review, and I kind of want it to be a surprise for those who are fans of the channel and listen to the podcast and listen to everything. I love you guys. That kind of stuff was Miss Kobashi's Dragon Maid, which is a 13 episode long slice of life comedy series about Miss Kobayashi, and she has a maid who's a dragon, and just madness ensues from that simple premise.
Yeah, you've been telling me a lot about this.
I really like this show.
Yeah.
I really like this show. It was it's enjoyable. I've been on a high with my anime. I did Lucky Star, and now I did Dragon Maid, and it's really enjoyable. And I like how it knows kind of what it is, kind of knows like the concept is silly, and it kind of plays around with like anime stereotypes and all that kind of stuff, and also kind of takes its time to also develop its story, because I think from face value just assume it's going to be wacky shenanigans with me and my dragon, but for the most part there are some pretty nice concepts, and there are some very like funny and like dumb concepts, but there are some very nice concepts, like the fact that every dragon in the series is kind of paired up with a human in some sense, and they kind of bond together and kind of learn about things, because in this universe dragons don't really like humans for the most part. So it is rather interesting that they're in this world and they somewhat get along with humans. Some don't. I mean, the main character Toru, which I'm pretty sure people have seen, she doesn't really like humans. She considers them inferior species compared to her. But she at least kind of has a bit of a progression change, and some of the other characters are kind of a bit like, it's me being a human and dragon is all kind of funny. But there are some very, very funny stuff in it that I won't spoil, and I might do a review on it, but you didn't hear that from me. And the other thing I did was I went to the MCM London Comic Con over the weekend. That was on the 26th, 27th, 28th of May, which was a lot of fun for the most part. I got a ton of stuff. It was really nice. The weather was nice as well, which was good. So quite a few people out there. It was on a bit paranoia alert because they were searching bags, something they've never done before, but I can completely understand, and I am absolutely thankful to all the staff at NCM. You guys did a fantastic job with security, bag searches. You guys even put like water hydrants outside for people to get drinks and all that, and they did a really good job this year. So I want to thank them as well, and all the other people who helped do their part, especially the people who actually helped keep the outside area clean as well. Big props to you guys. But it was a lot of fun for the most part, and I had fun, which was good. But that's pretty much all I did. I mean, I've got a ton of anime to watch thanks to what I bought, so you're probably going to be hearing about that for the next coming months.
Yeah, we'll probably be hearing about some anime from me as well soon. There's a lot good kind of out.
Oh, there's some good stuff. I mean, anime seems to be one of the only good mediums right now. Yeah. I mean, there's been some good films, there's been some good animes, but if you want to talk about consistency, television and anime, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Those are the ones you want for the most part. But unfortunately, we aren't really going to be talking about anime for the rest of this podcast because we're going to be moving on to, unfortunately, more sad and upsetting news, and that is the fact that I'm going to use the correct titling. So Roger Moore, unfortunately, passed away over the course of the fortnight at aged 89. So for anyone who doesn't know who this iconic as hell actor is, he was the second James Bond, playing 007 from 1973 to 1985 in 7 films. Arguably some of the most iconic films from the James Bond series catalogue, whatever you want to say it, Live and Let Die, Octopussy, all those kinds of ones. And it's really sad to hear, because like I said, he's a very iconic actor. He's very iconic. He's, when most people think of James Bond, or especially even those outside of England, because I mean everyone in England has seen James Bond, they usually think of him for the most part, because he was really the Bond during its prime time.
That's who I think of, and I grew up watching Bond films, and I still see him as Bond.
I think I've seen like pretty much all of them except for Spectre, which is good.
Have you even seen the 1967 Casino Royale comedy film?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which it's got 4 different people playing Bond.
Jeez.
Yeah, because it was based on the book.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
most of them are based on books and stuff. I think the later ones, not so much, because they're kind of remaking them to some extent.
Yeah.
But it's really sad. And I mean, like we've already said, if you never watched a James Bond film, definitely go and watch one at some point. They always have them on TV. You can pick up the films, especially his ones, just to honour the guy's like passing, because he's an awesome dude and he will be missed, as you can tell from the thumbnail of this podcast.
Yeah.
But really sad to hear, and I hate it when awesome people pass away for the most part.
Same. It always just feels weird. Like there's a small hole gone. Like it's just there now.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, death is inevitable, but it's always unfortunate when it's someone you really, really like.
Yeah.
Oh dear. All right. Let's move on to our first of, I believe, we've got 3 trailers, excuse me, but they're not all of the same medium. Ace, I believe you have this one.
So the first one being a film, and I chose to introduce this one because...
I was a bit suspicious about.
The Emoji Movie. It's... I don't really know where to start, other than it looks like a massive piece of crap.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say this because I think most people know I'm more of the like animation guy, if you want to say that. Like, okay, I think we'll both say. I think I can both speak for both of us by saying I think we both hate emojis.
Oh yeah, like
just in general.
Rarely use them. Most I use a smiley face.
I use just a smiley face and the winky face.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all I ever use because I can do them on a keyboard. I don't have to go to some stupid menu.
Yeah, exactly.
Put some fucking new language or whatever it is in there. But I was actually really surprised by this film. This film actually caught me off guard as to how bad it looks. Like I thought the animation was going to be at least
acceptable,
possible. But this is some poor animation, guys.
I agree.
Like this is shockingly bad. This is coming from Sony. Even Illumination can put together better animation, and they make films on a budget.
Yeah, That's pretty damn awful.
It is really awful, and I think this film's issues doesn't really stop with just its animation. I think
the story.
There's nothing original about this film. The story is your typical...
I don't want to fit this role that everyone has put for me.
I'm this, and I have to be that, but I want to be this, and all that.
So many films have done that before,
and people
done it
were
good.
running after me, and I gotta find my place, and this is what I really meant to be, and
here's a poop joke.
Yeah, because... I mean, if you want an earlier example, is Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph.
Is a much better film, which is what they are clearly ripping off.
Yeah, considering the whole now we're in a virtual world, the emoji world,
which doesn't make any sense if you really think about the logistics of this, because I don't understand how he's going to travel on a phone. But, whatever. I mean, you have forced love interest with... Oh, God. Which is just so forced, just like not needed.
They have to put them in every film.
And you got the dumb comic relief, so it's like, check. There's like 3 checks right now. All we need now is black stereotype.
Oh, God, that's going to be in there somewhere.
Well, yeah. This is how you make a shit film.
Although, this is what tests well with the public. It needs to be there.
I would debate that strongly because I don't think this film was made for the public. I think this film was made for 6-year-olds.
But we got a group of soccer mums in, and they all loved it. They said to do this, and we did it.
Yeah, if you're asking Twitter mums or soccer mums for advice, then your film has already failed for the most part. I mean, the voice acting as well, which is usually they can sometimes get stars in these kinds of films, but the biggest star in this film is TJ Miller, who is I like TJ Miller, but he's clearly not trying, and I don't blame him because he's obviously not trying, because he probably read the script and went,
I'll give it one credit. This is the only thing I ever say good. When they talked, it didn't sound like they were in a recording studio. So the sound designer, congrats, you did your job.
Someone was doing their job. But I mean, James Corden is in this film, which I didn't know he's like the high five hand thing.
James fucking Corden. And he sounds so bad and so out of place. I have no idea what is going on. Like, is he putting on an accent? Did he record through a cone? I thought that was just him in general, like in everything.
He doesn't sound like that.
He does to me. Everything he's in, he sounds out of place.
I don't know what's going on, but they messed up with whatever he's supposed to be doing. Like, I don't really care about James Corden. I have no real opinions on him, but like, he's just there because he has a show now and he's popular.
I didn't even know he had a show. I tried to
that's
avoid
why he's
him.
Everywhere. He's the James Corden show, whatever it's called.
I just thought he was a dick popping up everywhere. Like, intentionally
you need to be careful with the phrasing of dick and popping up everywhere, but you know.
That was intentional, I assure you.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on. That I mean, obviously, as soon as the first 5 seconds I wasn't sold, but when I heard his voice, I was just like, oh, I see.
I laughed at the moment I heard his voice because I knew as soon as then.
I didn't. I was like, that sounds a little bit like James Corden.
I laughed.
I was like, it sounds like someone may be doing a bad impersonation of James Corden because he can't be bothered to be in this film now or something.
Yeah. I laughed because I knew as soon as that happened, people couldn't pay me to see this film. It was like, no.
And you can pretty much see films for free now. Yeah. You ain't even going to see this film.
Exactly. Fuck that.
Oh, gosh. I mean, this film is just so one-noted. Yeah. Because the joke is the characters.
We're emojis.
But the thing is, if you're not a 6-year-old child, or you don't use emojis, this film is 100% lost on you.
Unless a whole bunch of 13-year-olds go there. I
would argue that they're already at the demographic.
Yeah.
Because possibly. I think that they've already messed this film up by appealing to the lowest common... Not like we want to appeal to family... No, they're... Children, little kids use emojis, and I'm sorry if you're 27 and you use emojis. I'm still gonna say it. Little kids use emojis. If you're texting me something and it's just a bunch of pictures, you ain't texting me nothing.
Oh yeah, like when someone texts you like a whole bunch of like gun emojis, and you're like, yep, ain't talking to you again.
Blocked.
Exactly.
Blocked real quick. I mean,
or they send you the eggplant. It's like, nah, fuck that.
What is that supposed to signify?
Penis.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because I don't use... How is that?
Because how it's shaped, it's supposed to be... Yeah, it's dumb as fuck.
If your penis looks like an eggplant, please see a doctor.
Yeah, it shouldn't be coloured purple.
No. Not unless you're into some freaky stuff. But, I mean, the thing is, I don't think emojis, they're not that significant in culture for you to make a whole freaking movie about them.
Or at least, they aren't as far as we know. Like, is it honestly this big of a thing?
No, I would argue it's not.
Then, yeah, I just don't get it.
No, I don't, because it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Because the thing is they're nothing special.
They're just like...
Because you've essentially made a film called Alphabet, the movie. That's all you've basically done.
Because you could at least go into Latin.
Well, Sesame Street has been doing that for years.
Exactly.
But
so Sesame Street should be more for children.
This film is like already... I mean, along with emojis, in about a few years' time, this film is going to be forgotten about.
Yeah.
Just as, like... Because, I mean... Yeah, most films nowadays are just like cheap cash-ins for toys and other projects, but this is probably one of the biggest ones in all of cinema history because the product placement is the film pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, you got the My Little Pony film coming out to sell toys, but at the same time, at least I know there are people who have written stories who they're actual good voice actors and there's going to be animation put into this film.
You can just tell there's going to be like plush toys of all of these, and they're going to be unique because they have the arms and legs.
There are toys of the emojis already, like pillows and that.
Yeah, I know that, but these ones will have the arms and legs, and that's the distinct trademark.
And that's just goes to show more lazy character design.
Oh, I agree.
Because the emojis aren't spectacularly designed in any way, and you literally just, oh well, this one's a girl, so put lipstick on her, and give her arms and noodle arms and legs, basically.
The noodle arms.
I mean, I gotta be real for a sec. I mean, 2017 Western animated films, I'm really, really disappointed.
I'm trying to think, what other... Did you say there were no other like Western animated films coming out?
No, there are. Like, I can give you a quick rundown. So you have the Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
You've already had The Boss Baby.
Oh god.
You have Captain Underpants.
Yeah.
You have oh gosh, I'm forgetting it now. You have Cars 3, my personal most anticipated film of 2017.
It's going to be as good as Logan from that trailer.
Yeah, it's you have Coco, which I think is, despite Disney's been very hush-hush about it, which is a bit worrying.
Yeah.
Because compared to Zootopia, where they let you know what the film was about almost immediately, I'm kind of just like, why wouldn't you show me more of the film?
I've got the gist of it.
I don't think they're hiding it because they think it's rubbish. I think it's just a case of they're really scared of presenting a film that takes place in Mexico to the rest of the world.
Yeah, America's going to get scared.
Yeah.
Mexicans? What?
Mexico culture? What?
Put the wall up. I don't want to see this film.
Build it faster. That's an old joke.
No, I know, but it's still dumb as
that's an old joke. I think you got that, and then there's a couple other films which I've just kind of looked at and I've just been like, ugh, for the most part. And I mean, to be honest, that's kind of why I'm looking more towards anime films, because they're finally getting a lot more releases over here.
I mean, as I've already seen 4 anime films in cinema, and there's a lot more coming.
Oh yeah.
So
hopefully they'll be good.
Hopefully.
And some re-releases as well.
Yeah.
If you're old enough, go see Perfect Blue.
Yeah. October, is it?
I think so, but don't take your girlfriend.
No, definitely take your girlfriend. Like, make sure she goes.
Oh, she'll love that film. Yeah. Especially if she wants to be an actor.
Yeah. Take your actress girlfriend with you now.
To see Perfect Blue.
Wait in line to October.
Opening day.
Exactly.
Here, honey, you want to see Perfect Blue?
No, I want to go home, watch EastEnders.
I heard it's about acting and stuff, yeah.
I think it's about you, love.
Because you're perfect.
My blue girl.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God. We joke, but we've seen shit like that before.
Blue is the warmest colour.
God.
No, I haven't seen that film. I'm not going to say anything about it.
Oh, gosh. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it just started raining.
Oh, brilliant.
Which is interesting, and it's raining pretty hard because guess what? It's been hot for so long, as I've already said. But maybe this will just add to the ambiance. But
brilliant.
We'll see. But moving on to our next one, which is a trailer for Castlevania. The Vengeance teaser, or they phrase as teaser, Vengeance, whatever. So, I don't think we ever covered this, but Netflix is essentially doing a Castlevania animated TV series on the video game series that originally debuted on the NES. And although they don't really give us much, it's kind of just like a vague kind of, things are going to happen in this. Yeah. It's definitely a retelling of the first video game, if you've ever seen that. But from what we've seen, it definitely looks promising, which I'm on board for it. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I mean, animation is on point for the most part, and I mean, it's got that anime influence, which, could go either way, but I think, given by the fact that they clearly know what they're doing, and they've obviously followed kind of, closely to the original source material, I think it's kind of fair to say it's in safe hands, and I mean, it's Netflix. I mean, the worst things they produce are just all right at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean,
with a few exceptions, obviously.
Yeah, like the Sandler films, and that anime film I told you about earlier, Blame.
Oh, no.
Nah, don't watch that.
Oh dear.
But I'm quite looking forward to this. Mm-hmm. For one, I think like Castlevania could work as an actiony series.
Yeah, we didn't see too much action. Yeah. It was just kind of like vague shots and Simon Belmont basically going, "I'm the one who killed Dracula.
I'm going to show you how to use a whip." Exactly. Although they better include my favourite line. I know it's not from the first game.
Oh, I know which line you mean.
But it has to be. And I don't even need to say it. Everyone knows what.
Everyone knows this line.
Exactly.
Everyone knows the line.
Yeah. So include that line, guys.
If you've played Symphony of the Night, one of the greatest games of all time, then you know which line you've got to put in there.
You miserable pile of secrets.
How about you? But yeah, I mean, it's also pretty nice to see that they're actually understanding the grim and dark kind of aesthetic of the franchise as well, for the most part.
It's not exactly grim dark, but it's edgy enough to just be on the edge.
Yeah, they've added colour into the film, unlike some people who, don't. But I mean, and also we've got to mention that awesome intro with the live action intro with the NES and putting on TV, which I thought was great. Just goes to show that they actually understand where it's coming from. It's not just someone going, I want the Castlevania name, and now I'm going to make a film about a guy who shoots people in the head.
Oh, so Uwe Boll.
Yeah, basically. I'm glad he doesn't have control of this film, because that's what he would have done. Why does he use a whip? Can't he just use a gun?
Yeah. Or he just make it a whip that can talk to people.
Well, then you're getting into some Vampire Hunter D stuff then.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
We need Vampire Hunter D needs to return, because don't remake the same series again, do something new with him, but we need some Vampire Hunter D. I think it's about time the D returns.
I think everyone wants that D.
I want that D. Come on, man.
Yeah. Everyone gets the D.
Everyone gets it.
It will pop up everywhere.
Well, anyway, speaking of Ds, Ace, I believe you have the next story.
Yeah, so we've got the new Sonic game, Sonic Forces. The trailer came out, and everyone knows that the new subtitle for this is OC Don't Steal, because that's the new gimmick involved. It's Sonic Generations with a create your own Sonic character.
Yeah, the custom heroes trailer, which oh boy, this literally shook the foundation of the Sonic fandom to its core.
Yeah.
Because it seems that Sega is pandering really hard to the hardcore fans for the most part, in actually letting you create your own character which you can play as in the story, and it's odd. I wouldn't have expected this, and I don't think anyone asked for it for the most part.
The funny thing is, this is the most interest that anyone I know, personally, is with Sonic now. That you can actually create your own character.
So have these people ever cared about Sonic or his friends?
They've cared about the first 2 or 3 Sonic games, and that's it. And now they're interested again because they can create their own character.
Well, I'm surprised by that.
So am I. So
because I mean, I think we need to give Sega a little bit of props for the most part in the customized character creation. They went in really deep with this, man.
There's a lot to do. Which
you could be any kind of animal with any kind of accessory, clothing, color, eye color. They wanted to make sure you could make your OC or make an OC for the most part. I mean, it's very brief because I'd imagine it's more in depth than some other games I've seen in recent years, where they just go, you get to be 5 people with 10 different eyes.
That's it. You're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
A la Mass Effect Andromeda, where they're like, you can't be white. You're not allowed to be white.
Yeah. They're trying to I don't know if they finished patching that or not, where you can finally be white.
Oh, the DLC and my white privilege.
Oh no! Okay, they have to do that now. White privilege DLC, and it would cost £2.
That's how much the white race is worth.
That'd be the funniest thing ever.
Oh, judging by some of the people who actually worked on that game, I wouldn't be surprised if they came up with a statement like that.
I actually want that, unironically, and I liked Mass Effect Andromeda. I want that to happen. I still won't pay for it, but I would love it. It'd be funny.
The white pack.
Exactly.
Oh gosh. You solve all the situations of the issues in the galaxy by just asking Daddy.
Yeah. But no, Sonic Forces, I'm actually going to create my own Ace the Hedgehog. This should be interesting. It'll be bright green.
So you're going to do a hedgehog?
Definitely.
Okay, I'll probably do a rabbit.
Gotta do the hedgehog, man. Classic.
No, because there's already 2 hedgehogs in the game.
But there's obviously going to be a mission
well, actually, there's 5.
Where they're trapped and you have to save them because you have to pander directly to the fans. And that will happen.
I really don't think Sonic needs that much help saving, but, it's...
That will happen.
It's nice that he's letting you help.
And, well, I'm surprised they haven't, automatically nicknamed your creator character Gary Stu or Mary Sue. Just because.
Well, why would they go through all the effort for you to be able to create a character and go, no, you're not allowed to name him though?
Because it fits the motif. Because we are going to save everyone in this game. Every character is going to get captured and you're going to save them. I can guarantee that.
I don't know about that.
I'm inside the game, I know.
It's my character in the game. I mean, I think it is still a good idea just for the fans. I mean, it's kind of a nice thing, although it's a bit random for the most part. I don't, like I already said, I don't think this is what fans wanted for the most part, and I don't know whether they're going to enjoy their characters or themselves being in the game that much. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But I mean, I don't know. For me personally, I would rather just play as Sonic. Because it's just another third character, because you will be able to do everything Sonic can do. So it kind of takes away from a Sonic game. You might as well have just made a Sonic universe kind of game where, you know, you go online and you make your own character and you do challenges or something like that. I don't know. It's that's just my thing. Also, I'm kind of wondering in a funny sense about like copyright issues.
Oh, right.
Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to go and make their actual copyrighted characters in the game. And I'm pretty sure other people are probably going to make those same copyrighted characters and do Let's Plays on said characters. And then people are going to get upset because it's literally going to be the case of, you stole my OC. I didn't know that was your OC. Well, you should have known about my OC.
Well, I just realised what this game's going to cause. It's going to be the start of the OC wars.
Most likely.
Damn. That's going to be perfect.
Oh, you tried to make my OC, but you didn't get it right. You see, my OC has purple eyes. You put magenta eyes.
Got it wrong. I put the eyes as violet. You were wrong.
Oh, you got it wrong. He has straight eyes. My one has derpy eyes.
They're looking off different directions, mate.
Oh, yeah. One direction looking at Sonic's future, one looking at Sonic's past. How did you not figure that out? Gosh.
That's my character. He's having the derp eyes.
If you can even do that.
They better. I'm writing it in.
I wonder if they'll let you just recreate Sonic.
Oh no, you make Shadow with the Hawaiian shirt.
That's probably in the game. That probably is in the game.
That's it. Ace, green hedgehog with a Hawaiian shirt. We're done.
That's gonna be gross.
And put on some shades.
It's literally that meme of when your customized character takes on the final boss and it looks like the dumbest thing ever. That's essentially what this whole game's going to be. You're going up against Eggman, whoever it is, and it's just like some horrifically coloured character just standing there about to take on this god entity, and it's just like Sonic's like, yeah, we can do it, and it's just like you standing there with devil horns and a dress, and you're actually a male character with sunglasses. It's just like, oh god.
It's going to be the best thing ever.
I don't know about that, honestly. I
haven't been more excited for a Sonic game for 30 years.
Really?
Because I've never been excited for a Sonic game before.
I mean, the only game you should be excited for is Sonic Mania. Because that game looks dope. And they better not mess that's the real Sonic game right there.
Now they've got a patch and create a character for that too.
No, they just got the main three.
No, they need to patch in.
Because people only care about the main three being like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. That's all you need to play with. Amy can be there, but she doesn't need to be playable.
I only care about Tails. But that's
really?
It. Yeah. That's the only character out of the three.
Did Tails ever get his own game? I don't think he did.
No.
Oh, that's a shame. I know Knuckles did, which was weird.
It's the best thing is because Tails, his real name Miles Powers.
Yeah, Miles Powers.
Miles means soldier in Latin, so he's basically soldier power.
Basically, but his name is just to play on miles per hour.
Yeah,
which is so kind of dumb because he's literally one of the only characters in the whole Sonic universe that actually has a normal name.
Yeah,
everyone else is just the animal.
It's because they're the last one alive.
Oh, yeah. The hedgehog.
Exactly. Emphasis on the "the."
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, this is definitely Sega doing something.
Yeah.
Let's hope they don't mess it up. I think they will mess up Heroes, if anything. I don't think they'll mess up Mania because Sega's low-key not working on Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
They actually got people who actually made, hacks and fan-made games and all that to actually make it.
Wasn't it Taxman and Stealth who are behind this?
Yeah, they're two of the main or the most famous guys working on it. And I think also it's probably best that they actually do kind of harken back to the old generation because, what's that game? Was it Future Planet or whatever it was?
Is that with the robot-y animals?
It's with the animals in it, the green cat and the pink dragon and the rabbit.
Yeah.
Future Planet or whatever it was called. It's basically a game. You can get it on the Wii U, excuse me. But that game was basically the most Sonic game Sonic has ever been, and I think Sega probably looked at that and went, oh. Because that game was fantastic. And it was kickstarted.
Damn.
Which is great. But yeah, I mean, just give me Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
That's all I really care about. Because that game looks dope.
Give me my OC. I want it now.
Do not steal. I would so laugh if the game started and it was like, please do not steal other people's characters.
Oh no, I want that. That has to be the disclaimer.
Yeah, that should be. There probably will be.
Put it on the box as well.
Do not steal. Oh gosh, that's too funny. Oh boy, man, we got to get onto this next one now.
We're going to go to some dark places.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about cinematic universes of late on this podcast, mainly because we find a lot of them kind of dumb, whether we're mocking the hell out of DC or we're talking about failed ones like the King Arthur failed cinematic universe, which only just failed.
Yeah, or the heavily rumoured and guessed Steven verse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, we had a fun time with that one.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, boy. But now we are talking about the Dark Universe. Which, yeah, you know, it's so... Yeah, you guys can laugh because...
I love that name.
This is essentially Universal's classic monster cinematic universe, which has been trying to actually start for a good 3 years now, for the most part.
There was Wolfman.
Wolfman, which they said was going to be the start, but that failed, so they backtracked on that.
Then there was it Frankenstein or Dracula next?
It was Dracula Untold, which failed, so they backtracked on that comment. Yeah. And they did Victor Frankenstein, which no one saw Victor Frankenstein, so they backtracked on that. And now it seems that the studio finally has a plan. And it seems that with The Mummy, which is a film that looks absolutely terrible, is going to be the start of the Dark Universe.
Yeah. And I can just hear Tom Cruise screaming without any sound.
Sorry, once I saw that trailer, that was it. Like, look up The Mummy trailer, missing audio, and you will laugh your ass off. I just, don't even remind me because I'm gonna have to watch it after this podcast. But I mean, really?
Yeah.
The Dark Universe of all the titles?
It's because it's dark, you know?
No, it's not.
But it's dark.
No, it's really not.
But the monsters are dark.
No, it's not.
Well, I'm out of ideas now.
Wouldn't the monster universe actually make more sense and sound way better? Because at least you know what you're getting.
But we can't call it the Monsters Cinematic Universe because that's the MCU and that's Marvel. So it's the Dark Universe, the DU.
But there isn't too much dark about any of the films they're making because if you've seen The Mummy, it's very brightly lit.
I know.
And I'm not trying to say that all these films need to be darkly aesthetic, but all I'm saying is nothing is dark about this universe at all. I mean, Egyptian history, mythology isn't that dark.
No, it's quite a happy place
Nor
full of
is
sun.
Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde because it's
that one's darker.
Like, it's darkish, but it's not that dark. And other films which they're planning to do, which we're going to get to in a bit. But I mean, I just don't understand why they took DC's original title. Like, why? What? It went back to public domain, and you went, "Oh, we'll take that."
Well, because they changed it from dark to the DC Extended Universe.
Should just call it the D Universe.
Yeah, there's a lot of D popping up at the moment.
Yeah, there is. But I mean, but they've kind of said what else is going to be coming up. So they've essentially said The Mummy was coming out, which
that's gonna be.
Don't go and see that film, guys, because it looks terrible.
That'll be comedy of 2017. I can tell.
Most likely because that film is just.
Yeah.
You couldn't have made a flatter film, honestly.
You really couldn't.
And they haven't really given an exact order as to when these films are coming out, but they've essentially got The Invisible Man, which they're basically remaking with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Which could be interesting if they make it, if they have comedic elements like the original one.
Because apparently throughout all of the Pirates film, Johnny Depp was drunk. Like, on set.
I don't blame him. They probably just gave him real rum.
Probably. But, yeah, if he's drunk like that in this...
Just liquor him up.
Oh, God.
I guess. I mean, I would like... Johnny Depp can do pretty awesome performances when he's given some kind of direction or he cares. But I think it's very unlikely that it's going to be a comedy given the fact this is the Dark Universe.
Exactly.
No comedy allowed.
Yeah.
DC's no fun allowed. This is no comedy allowed.
Oh, and the Steven verse is no creativity allowed.
I guess.
That's what I'm going.
Trying to think of a better tagline is no sense, I would say.
No
because
sense.
None of it makes that much sense.
Fair enough.
We already talked about this, given the fact that there are so many properties and so many things that are apparently linked to each other.
Yeah.
That it makes no sense that this would all connect.
The Dark Tower.
No, it doesn't. So we got that, and then we've got Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
With, Frankenstein's monster and Bride of Frankenstein, which I could not care less about because
I heard they're doing Bride first, if I'm correct. Like that's going to be 2018 or 2019.
Because I think it's because the beginning of Frankenstein still exists with Victor Frankenstein, so I'm guessing they're going to have the Bride first, and it's another experiment, and then the guy playing Frankenstein is going to be like, "Oh man, I'm the original experiment," or some kind of rubbish like that. But
my wife.
Yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing about Bride of Frankenstein is it's not his bride. No. It's just a female Frankenstein that just happens to be a woman.
Isn't it actually like Victor Frankenstein or his son's wife?
It's someone's wife. Yeah. Yes. It's because she gets unfortunately killed. Spoilers for a film that's almost 90 years old.
Gotta kill you for spoilers.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
How could you ruin Bride of Frankenstein? I was gonna watch that today.
It's so new.
But no, I mean, I couldn't care less about these because you can't top the originals and you can't top the Hammer films. Simply put, I mean, what more is there for you to do? And
you're still not going to get a more comedic Frankenstein moment than in Van Helsing, where he's just screaming, "Why?"
Or the fact in the original Frankenstein where they built up the reveal so much to the point where Frankenstein actually enters the room backwards just so he can turn around and show his horrific face.
The best.
Which is so bizarre. They just wanted to just keep that suspense for so long in the original film, but before they're probably just going to have a jump scare out in this new film.
Or he'll just walk on the screen like, no, it just doesn't matter. He's like, yo.
It just comes on screen like it's young Frankenstein. Like it's nothing.
Definitely.
Ending with a tap dance scene. Oh gosh. But yeah, and then also the weirdest one I find is Dr. Jekyll, which they're doing with Russell Crowe. Yeah. And which obviously anyone who's seen the trailer for The Mummy would know that Russell Crowe is also in The Mummy.
So throughout the film it's going to be Dr. Jekyll, there's a mummy.
Which I was like, why is Dr. Jekyll in my Mummy film?
Because he's a doctor. That's it.
Last time I watched Dr. Jekyll, he has nothing to do with this kind of stuff. And I don't see why he would be interested in the apocalypse.
I think, like, this is me bullshitting, okay? And
possibly them bullshitting as well, possibly.
The original book is literally about, like, humanity and the duality of man, etc. Mm-hmm. And this whole thing, like, throughout the whole trailer, it's like, she's evil, she wants you. And I think they're going to try and tie into this whole thing of, like, evil and duality, and that's why Dr. Jekyll's there, But
at the same time, there's only one person there.
Well, it's
not Hyde yet.
There's the Mummy and there's Tom Cruise.
Because if they show Hyde there, then it's just going to be like, oh, so you've just ruined the film, what you're going to do.
No.
So it's just a normal guy who's obviously obsessed with a mummy who's then going to become a somewhat crazed duality guy.
He's going to be obsessed, I think, with the duality of Tom Cruise and the Mummy.
But the only spoilers, guys, the only duality of it is the fact that he's dead and not dead and going to be evil and not going to be evil. And that's not as strong as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I completely agree. But this is what I think they're doing, and it's dumb as fuck.
This is the bullshit, yeah. He doesn't need to be there.
No.
You could have just got another guy. I mean, Russell Crowe, I love you, man, but like, he doesn't need to be there.
I'm actually surprised it wasn't Dr. Van Helsing.
Yeah.
They were just like, here's Dr. Van Helsing, even though in the book he was just a normal doctor and not a monster hunter.
He was just an average guy who was like, oh shit, Dracula.
It's like, oh shit, this person's suffering from something, I gotta help them.
Yeah,
it's like, we should kill this guy now.
Yeah, that guy's some kind of, he's basically the devil.
Yeah, he's messed up, stab him with a knife.
A wood.
Because they literally killed him with a knife. I think they chopped his head off, or stabbed him twice with a kukri knife.
And then they, like scatter his body down the river or something like that?
Not in the book as far as
I'm thinking of another interpretation of Dracula. There's so many versions.
I think that's the one where he couldn't walk past running water, so he drowned.
I think it was one of the Hammer ones. Yeah, he just falls into like Cold War and just dies, and I'm like, oh.
Because vampires can't go past running water.
Yeah, which is...
So just have a tap overflow and they can't get to you.
Yeah, and you're fine. I mean, yeah, it would have been solved a long time. We can beat vampires, but these werewolves you've got to be careful of because they can...
Oh no, mistletoe. Christmas, they can't get to you.
Well, that's...
Just hold mistletoe for
as 1 month. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, that'd make for a good comedy film.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just so dumb that he's there.
Yeah.
Because you can clearly tell he's not going to be Dr. Jekyll.
He will be Dr. Jekyll in name only.
In name only, but then it's like, at the end, he's going to be like, oh man, I made the serum.
Yeah.
Which is just going to be like so forced. And also, it confirms he doesn't die.
Yeah.
Not unless he dies in this film and then Hyde is like, no, I'm going to bring you back to life and then we can... Or some kind of rubbish like that.
That'd be the stupidest thing ever.
It would, but the whole idea of him being there... I mean... He's not needed. Just remove him. Make the Dr. Jekyll film.
I bet he's going to be like the Nick Fury for the Dark Universe.
I think they kind of... the kind of linking is like a website for monsters or something like that. It's kind of dumb. You can all read it in the description and the download link. Because we don't really care about the details that you can retell. Yeah. We just want to kind of talk about all this stupidness for the most part. This sounded
like the Godzilla King Kong Monsters universe now.
Oh, that's a failed universe right there. Because guess who wins? Godzilla always.
But King Kong's like 100 foot tall.
Doesn't matter.
Godzilla
now. Always wins.
They're both 100 feet
Simply
tall.
put, and do you know why he will win? Because if he doesn't win, people in Asian countries won't see the fucking film. So he will win.
But they won't see it if they don't know. Like, how are they going to see it? Know who wins if they haven't seen it yet?
Well, the film's not coming to them first, is it?
It might do. Just to avoid that.
It won't. Trust me. He will win. And even if King Kong somehow wins through some bullshit, Godzilla will just be back.
Well, I think
you can't kill him.
It's quite obvious. None of them are going to win. There's going to be a secondary threat that will pop up and they team up to fight him. Because America. Yeah.
The only threat to both of them is King Ghidorah. And that's because King Ghidorah is too strong.
Well, they already referenced him.
Oh, no.
Yeah?
No, King Ghidorah needs to be the final boss in the later films or next to... was it Violentian?
They've referenced Mothra and King Ghidorah and someone else.
Rodan.
Yeah, Rodan. They referenced all three of those in King Kong.
You can't... Oh, they're messing up like DC. Yeah. You can't go from Superman to the final boss, because King Ghidorah is the final boss, other than Violentian. Or Destroyer. Because Destroyer is pretty powerful.
It's going to be King Ghidorah.
Destroyer is one of the only people who ever killed Godzilla. And then you get Space Godzilla.
Oh, God. No.
Well, yeah. That's how he beats him. He just goes to space, comes back, and he's like, right, time to whoop your ass with space powers.
I will say the only Godzilla film I like is the original, and I still haven't seen Shin Godzilla yet.
Oh, the original was just masterpiece right there. I mean, all the other ones are just...
They're dumb action.
You can put them on in the background because you're only really waiting to see the amazing special effects and effort they put in to make those costumes because they're all people. Yeah. You know, you look... I mean, no joke, guys. Look up the introduction to King Ghidorah. It is one of the most amazing things in practical effects ever because... That's all hard work from people right there to make all three of its heads move simultaneously. True. That is, and that's why I don't want to see him in any kind of film because, you know, even Japan's kind of realized we're never going to do that. But at least with Shin Godzilla, they just made it into a comedy. Yeah. You know. But enough about Godzilla. The other thing we need to kind of mention is the fact that there's obviously a lot of monsters missing from this as well. That
would be phase 2 of the Dark Universe.
The darker universe.
No, the light universe. Like, they're going to have separate teams.
I hope not. I mean, I personally don't think they're going to touch on Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, it will pop up. But it would just be called The Creature or something. Ugh. Or The Black Lagoon. And that'd be it. Even though there's an anime called Black Lagoon. Mm. So people
the sea in SpongeBob is called Blue Lagoon.
Isn't that a film? Blue Lagoon in
the Blue 80s. Lagoon is... Oh, no, I'm thinking... Okay, I can't remember what the actual underwater seaside in SpongeBob is called, but something similar to that.
It might be a reference to the film.
It is a reference to that, simply put. No Dracula, which is rather interesting. I would imagine they want to just stay away from him after Dracula Untold.
Or he'll be the villain.
Dracula's always the villain, simply put.
Well, it's like...
Except for Blackula.
Oh God, he's the hero.
Blackula's the hero.
He's gonna save us.
If you haven't watched Blackula,
Yeah.
go watch Blackula because that film is fantastic.
Yeah. But the thing is, so it's obviously sounding to anyone who's like read the comic book, very much like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Which they have the Invisible Man, they have Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, they have Mina from Dracula, etc. Obviously I said Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah. Except for in the movie, it was just turned into the Hulk, and I'm like, oh, okay.
He was kind of like that but they explained it.
I prefer him just to be like a somewhat strong mutant guy, but not like, I'm gonna Hulk out and just pick up a building.
In the book, he was like really.
Oh yeah, in the comic, he was like, you know.
Oh no, like,
kind of like
in the original book, in the comic, he was Hulkish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably what they're trying to do, but. It's
not good.
I don't know. Do we think this is really going to work? Honestly, I mean, I think the Mummy's going to fail,
and then Invisible Man's going to be the start of the Dark Universe.
Yeah, probably. Excuse me, because I mean, it kind of goes back to the whole King Arthur kind of thing, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone cares.
As I said, I was the only one who cared about King Arthur in general to go see it.
Exactly, and look how well that film did.
Yeah, it's not great.
I think people will see The Mummy but won't do that well.
Yeah. The
Invisible Man will get girls to go see it because...
They wouldn't even go see that. Most girls hate Johnny Depp now because I don't know if it was actually approved, like... I'm trying to think of the word, like shown in court that he had beat his wife, but allegedly he beat his wife. Yeah,
well... Some girls are very shallow.
Yeah.
They'll just see a hot face and go, I'll just forgive you. It happens all the time. And no one's going to see Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Probably not, no.
Because no one knows who Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is or even cares. And I don't even know how you even modernize that or do a take on that. I mean, do you make it horror? Do you make it psychological horror? Do you make it a comedy?
Well, if you saw, I think Moffat, his like Jekyll TV show, that was horrible, and that was a modernization of it, and it was like trying to be a thriller, psychological drama.
And Frankenstein as well. Frankenstein's Bride, they were very vague, where they kind of just said it's about a woman dealing with the modern world, and I was like, well, that sounds like Frankenhooker.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a much more superior film. But yeah, I mean, we have kind of glossed over some of the other details. They have put in quotes where they're kind of talking about things, but that's going to be in the description and the download link. If you guys want to jump in on our cinematic universe saga, which we're gonna, if you want to kind of throw in your 2 cents, you can always email us at raccoonplusfriends@gmail.com. That email is going to be in the description and in the download link, which you can find everything there. But I think we need to kind of move off cinematic universes until next time.
I would definitely leave it at this. We need to do our own cinematic universe, just because of this.
I guess.
Where we bring all the films together.
We bring all the shows that are uploaded to our collected channels together. Yeah.
We get Ant-Man and we get Godzilla together in our cinematic universe. The CMCM will win.
We'll see. But then moving on to our discussion, which is somewhat on the same level. And essentially, we're going to be talking about TV series adaptations that got it right and got it so wrong. So essentially, this was inspired by the brand new trailer for The Gifted, which is apparently a Marvel / X-Men inspired TV series. And the link is in the description for you to go watch it. But oh my gosh, this is probably one of the worst things I have seen this 2017.
Yeah, it looked very rough.
Like, this demonstrates everything wrong with TV series adaptations, and the same can kind of be said for another trailer we're going to use as an example, being The Mist.
Yep.
Which, no idea why they made a TV series about The Mist, a one-noted kind of story that doesn't need to be expanded over hours. I don't care about other people dealing with The Mist. I'd rather see how one person or a few people in one location deal with a worldwide situation.
And I can tell they won't be able to use the ending from the book, because then they can never use Earth again.
Yeah.
So, are they going to copy the film ending?
Maybe. I don't know.
So, yeah.
I mean, they're really bad trailers, and they're exactly the reason why I hate films to TV show adaptations, because they always follow these kind of things. It's like cheaply made. The Gifted looks so bad. Like,
unfortunately.
Like, you were getting excited. Ace was telling me that there was going to be Sentinels in this.
Yeah, and then they showed the Sentinels, and they're these like really shitty looking like spider robot things, and they're tiny and like what?
And I was like, that's a threat. You could step on that.
Those are Sentinels?
They didn't even.
Where's my like 30-foot giant like purple blue like man machine thing?
Exactly, and I don't want to hear anyone going, oh yeah, but it's like a different version of Sentinel. Days of Future Past, which takes place in the past, had the big robots. Are you trying to tell me that's a more advanced version than that? Yeah, sure, they went crazy in the film, but at the same time, no.
And I actually like those Sentinels. They were quite like dressed down design wise.
Yeah, they look like, prototype.
Yeah. And then you had the like Nimrod designs later on, which were pretty good adaptations.
They were okay. I prefer the 80s
I
one.
prefer those
way
too.
better.
Yeah.
But and then just poor special effects, which just destroys the whole presentation of the whole series. And I think the biggest problem is the lack of understanding of the source material, because The Gifted, it's like it's a shame to be an X-Men show.
Well, I think it's trying to be the heroes, like a Marvel version of Heroes. Well, obviously a Fox Marvel version of Heroes.
But there's nothing superhero about it. It's just like a bunch of melodrama.
Exactly, like Heroes, after season 1.
Yeah, of course. Okay, be clear about that.
Yeah, I liked season 1. Don't get me wrong, guys.
Yeah, season 1 was really fun, but it just looks so boring, and it's just so like, oh man, I hunt down the X-Men, but now my kids have powers. How the hell did you not figure that out, first of all?
Yeah, I mean, kids' powers do usually come at like puberty in the comics.
There are characters who got their powers way younger, but
those are usually rare and written by writers way later, like 30, 40 years after the original comics.
I don't know. Maybe they should have read a few comics before they actually made this show first, before they make a bunch of fluff. I just oh my god, am I gonna ignore this show so hard? And it's kind of upsetting because you actually had a good X-Men show, being Xavier's son.
Oh, Legion,
yes. Yeah. Which, from what I hear, was really good and had some creative stuff. And it's just like, how did you go from that to this?
Yeah.
Just don't waste the money.
Exactly.
Put it in your bank. It's alright. You don't need to
save it for Legion season 2.
You don't need to piss off Marvel that much by making a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Because they make the money at the end of the day anyway. And it's just so bad. I mean, we kind of wanted to use... The Mist just looks atrocious. Like,
those effects are worse than 2007
They're worse than the original film. And I'm like, how did you manage that?
I don't know. Effects get cheaper as the years go on.
And I mean, from my limited knowledge of The Mist, that's probably the only aspect I don't really like about the Mist. It's really distracting for me because they haven't aged that well. But I've heard that
it's still fine because you're so caught up in the drama.
Yeah, it's so caught up. No one is watching The Mist for creature designs and special effects.
I mean, there are some cool designs though.
Oh yeah, I'll give them that. But but I mean, it's so disheartening because you see that, and I just get so sick of like this trend of just we gotta take this famous film and turn it into a TV series, and I'm just like, can you guys like stop? But I think we should mention at least some series that do a good job of that. I don't know, do you have one that you wanted to share?
I've got one that's it was a film first and there's like 2 seasons that I enjoyed both of, being Fargo.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love the film, I think it's great, and I do think that the TV show is unnecessary, but for what it is, it's really damn good. I loved season 1. The characters were all interesting, very different. For Martin Short was brilliant.
Yeah, I've heard.
And then season 2 went off. Obviously, it definitely went a bit more further off than the original, like season 1, and that was also really cool. And it had that one guy who I can never remember the name of, who was also in Bone Tomahawk, and he was really good. He was a Native American actor.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but he was great. So definitely Fargo season 1, 2, and season 3 looks like it's going to be really good. I can't wait for that.
Okay. I mean, and you were telling me, I think we had a discussion, maybe on air or not, I'm not sure, were you saying that it kind of did its own thing, and I'm like, I'm okay with that, but just don't try and make people think that it's the film.
Yeah.
Because it's not needed.
I know, wasn't there a poster that was basically the same?
Yeah, it was the same poster, which I was just like, which immediately just put me off because I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that.
No, they should have just said, based on.
Yeah. Or, like, how... It could have been an issue of, like, just a sign, like, you know, the ones when you're entering a city. Welcome to Fargo or something.
Yeah.
That could have been something.
You know, I mean, you know, they kind of just tried to recreate the classic poster of just, like, the dead body lying in the snow, and I was just like, what? I don't want to watch that again. There's no need for you to remake that.
Yeah.
You know, it just put me off. But, I mean, there are shows that I have seen that are based on films that I did enjoy. Like, the one I will kind of share is Hannibal.
Yeah.
The reason I like that is much for the same reasons of Fargo, and it's a kind of a prequel leading up to Red Dragon and all those, but it kind of takes a slightly more. It's kind of everything Hannibal does before he kind of gets locked up and before the first case, but they kind of have a lot of fun with it. Where Hannibal is more of this like suave kind of cool kind of guy, but it's almost like a game of cat and mouse where they can never really convict the guy because they can't prove it just yet, but you know he went and did this. And it also deals with other serial killers, and I really like that aspect of kind of taking Hannibal and going, what else can we do with this? What else can we do with crazy cannibal serial killers kind of stuff, which I really liked, and I liked the originality to it compared to Bates Hotel, which just tried to remake the classic.
It didn't.
Well, in the prequel sense.
Was there a prequel to Bates? Psycho? Or?
No, not in film sense.
Okay.
But from what I got from this show, it was just like, oh, you're just leading up to that one murder, huh?
Because I've been watching it on and off with my brother, because we have very, like, weird dates in which we can actually watch stuff, because he's always busy with work and I'm busy with my own stuff. Mm-hmm. And we have been watching parts, and we have been enjoying it, and, like, I wouldn't say it's leading up to that murder at that point. It's definitely getting into his psychology, and he's far too young of a character to get to that point anytime soon.
Well, I'd imagine that was the end goal at some point.
Possibly, but
I know the show's been cancelled since because no one watched it.
Okay, I didn't know it got cancelled.
I was just looking and I was like, that's not really a character I care about, because the original film tells you everything you'd want to know about that character from there. So there's no point building up. Hannibal is a guy we hardly know in the films. We don't know what this guy... Well, we know what he's capable of, but we hardly ever see that. We know he's got some history, and for them to kind of make up the history is interesting. With him, it's just like, oh, I know everything. You know.
I can say that about both, actually. Like, I think both Hannibal and Bates I can tell exactly from the films, but the backstory they tell is interesting.
I would argue Hannibal's is more interesting because, like I said, I think you get everything you'd ever want to know, like beginning, middle, and end with Psycho compared to Hannibal, where you could make another film. Granted, the other films were shit. Yeah. Not the second one, but I'm talking about the one that was just called Hannibal. You know, all those kinds of stuff. But that's just my kind of thing. That's kind of why I kind of put it there in the not as great. Well, it's not shit. I wouldn't say it's that. It's just extremely pointless, in my opinion.
I mean, that's a lot of these TV show adaptations I would say are kind of pointless in some way, but I still appreciate them when they do something good.
Yeah, and the ones we've mentioned have done at least something interesting.
I actually bought the Hannibal collection for my sister for her birthday, and she's been enjoying it. Like, she loves it. And she's a massive fan of just, like, the Hannibal stuff. Like, she has all the books and all the show, like, films.
Oh, interesting collection. There.
I don't think she has Manhunt, the original, like, version of Red Dragon, though.
Oh, okay.
That came out in the 80s, I think. Don't think she has that.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But the only other thing I wanted to mention was when they kind of do a concept kind of well, and I think I kind of wanted to mention the fact that they are going to be making a TV series based on a book, which is a very famous book, Fahrenheit 451, which they're going to actually do a TV series on, and they're going to actually be modernizing it and actually doing it appropriately, and they're kind of saying how the reason, for anyone who doesn't know what Fahrenheit 451 is, essentially when they essentially ban and outlaw all books and they go out burning it, because that's the exact Fahrenheit temperature that books burn at. Yeah. And they're going to be modernizing in the sense where they're kind of going to be going around the idea that books are way more obsolete because we have technology, we have smartphones, we have all this at our fingertips.
Right.
We need to get rid of the books in that kind of angle, which I kind of like the fact that someone's actually gone, we can do something with this, because the original film is really weird. But,
Although my only personal problem could be that, like, will they match the tone of the book that way?
Yeah, I think that could definitely be an issue, especially if they decide to go, super future, and then they might lose that, because there is a kind of...
I mean, there is a robot dog in the original, so...
Yeah, but there also is, like, a weird kind of... I don't know, it's hard to explain. There's, like, a weird vibe to that film where it looks as though it's set in a odd 70s or so, where it's just, like, this could only happen in the 70s. I know the book was written in the 50s, I believe.
Yeah.
But it was obviously... adaptations kind of based more around the 70s, because given recent events and all that kind of stuff. But I think it would definitely be very appropriate for them to kind of go, just in the terms of the show, going, well, we got to get rid of these books because they're spreading lies compared to the internet, which is 100% truth.
Yeah, that actually,
which
be
I
really
think would be a really good angle,
Yeah.
especially if there's people going, no, but the books have the real truth to it, or some kind of
the
stuff
internet's
like
so modifiable to make it for everyone.
Yeah. No, no, you must get your news from the internet. Don't get it from the papers. The papers are lying.
Yeah. But I actually wrote an essay on Fahrenheit 451 in college. I was very interested by the book.
It's a very interesting book.
Yeah.
It's also ironic, though, as well.
Yeah, exactly. But no, one other thing I would say, which is out at the moment that I've been watching, being American Gods.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really good adaptation of the book.
That's based on a book, yeah.
Yeah, by Neil Gaiman, I think. I probably got that horribly wrong, and I can't remember because I haven't read the book in yonks.
Well, the if anyone were to comment, I'm pretty sure they'd correct you.
Yeah, if you do, let me know. I can't remember, but I think it's him.
Mm-hmm.
4 episodes in so far. The next one comes out literally tomorrow from when we record this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so looking forward to it. I love the characters. They're handling it perfectly.
Yeah, I like the concept of it. I'm just avoiding the show because they won't stop spamming the advertisements. Amazon has a lot of money and they put that all in advertising.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just so sick of hearing the same lines and seeing the same characters. It's just kind of like, stop. I'll watch it eventually. Just stop.
See, that's because I never see adverts unless I'm at the cinema. So
because you have adblock.
Yeah, basically. I turn it off for specific people. Or specific sites that I care about.
Yeah.
Other ones I'm going to like, no, fuck that.
You don't get my money.
Exactly. But, well, they don't get the ad rev. But yeah. I highly recommend it. Obviously, if that whole stuff is bothering, just like wait for it to come over and just watch it.
Oh yeah, it's not the case of I will not watch the show because you're advertising it to me. Yeah. It's the case of I'm going to give it a break because I've already seen enough.
Yeah, I get you. And the main actor, I remember him when he was in Hollyoaks. So, yeah.
He's come a long way. Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know what Hollyoaks is, it's a very low-rent TV drama that comes on at 6 o'clock, which it's not that great.
No.
But it's produced some great actors, which is good.
Yeah.
Always good to see.
And he's doing excellently, so well done.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Which is always good. You got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Anything else you want to add to this discussion?
I can't really think of anything.
Though I can kind of see us returning to this kind of topic before. I
could see us doing like films based on shows, or like doing a whole thing of films based on shows, based on shows, based on books.
We could do that at some point if we can see how deep the rabbit hole goes. I mean, sure, we can.
Or Death Note.
Work something out. Yeah.
I'm still looking forward to that film.
Yeah. I know a lot of people aren't.
Well, those people can go suck a lemon.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I guess if you guys want to throw in any TV series adaptations that we missed, that you enjoy or don't enjoy, you can let us know. Email raccoonplusfriends@gmail.com, comment section of the YouTube video as well. However way you want to message us, I'm sure if anyone did message us or email us, we would read those comments, but no. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Now it's still the abyss.
Oh yeah, pretty much. That inbox is looking empty now. I'm not going to go into all that depressing stuff.
The sound of silence.
Moment of silence, no. But that brings us to our final section of the podcast, and that is going to be the video of the episode. And this episode is going to be History of the Entire World, I guess, which is essentially coming from the same guy who did A Whole History of Japan, which was up like last year, which is a fantastic video. He's got his own kind of style, editing, and it's pretty much a video on the whole history of the world, done fairly accurately with a lot of comedy, and it worked out pretty well. Obviously we really recommend this one because you will hopefully learn a lot from it, or just get a nice reminder, or whatever, that you kind of know the whole history of the world for the most part, which is always
how
good.
Small and insignificant humanity is.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what led H.P. Lovecraft to writing.
Yeah. Because he was just like, what is this?
We're nothing.
Yeah. The original emo. No, I'm joking.
No, literally.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap up the podcast. We're probably going to have maybe a few reviews of films maybe going up on the next coming weeks. But we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen. Nothing's 100% planned. But I do know we will have a brand new video game playthrough going up very soon as well, which should be fun. But yeah, anything else you'd like to add to this podcast, Ace?
Nothing except for watch Gatchmon Crowds. I'm going
you need to stop with that.
I won't until everyone's watched it.
No.
That's all.
Even if the 3 people who did watch this podcast have probably already watched it by now.
Good. Then message me about it.
And what's your handle?
I don't have one.
Gatchmon fan 257@gmail.com.
Gatchmon fan number 1.
Number 1.
Exactly.
Okay, if there's nothing else to get in with this, I'll end it by saying I am the Angry Raccoon.
I'm Ace.
And we will see you on the next podcast.
Of Duri-san.
Alright, laters, guys.